Howdy there, folks. I'm Gene of RPG, and welcome back to more Final Fantasy, the Pixel Remastered Edition, where I get attacked by fish people. So last time we restored the Earth Crystal and defeated the Lich. This time, let's go ahead and head to Crescent Lake once again, because this is the point in the game where we actually do need to go there. Alright, so now that we're back in Crescent Lake, this is the point where you're actually supposed to come to this town, so this is when you would be able to get all the stuff that I actually went ahead and got already. Maybe I was a little over-prepared for the Earth Cave. In fact, I'm pretty sure I was, but it doesn't matter. I'd rather it go smoothly than me have to struggle really hard. However, at this point, we now should head over here to talk to Lucan. I see a cycle of wrath, a dim light guided by destiny about which our entire future revolves. Okay. You might remember this is the guy who had the prophecy that was mentioned at the beginning of the game. So he's still alive. He's just standing in a circle with these old guys. 12 sages are we, guided to this land by the stars and prophecy. 4 great crystals exist in this world. The light that once shone within them is now lost. The 4 fiends of chaos block the power of the crystals, claiming it as their own. Okay. Fire, earth, water, and wind. These are the 4 forces that compose our world. The source of the 4 forces are the altars scattered throughout the world. Defeat the fiends that have taken root there and lift up the crystal you carry to the altar. The crystal should regain its brilliance. So yeah, basically we're going around and recharging the crystal's batteries. The 4 fiends plot to rule the world, both past and present. The Fiend of Wind appeared 400 years ago, followed 200 years later by the Fiend of Water. Together, they laid waste to the civilization in the north. Okay. The Fiend of Earth rots the land. Not anymore, he doesn't. Where the Fiend of Fire, rather, passes, all is engulfed in flame. Well, we haven't taken care of the Fiend of Fire yet. When all 4 crystals shine once more, return here. All will be revealed. Alright, we'll have to remember to do that. Bring the light of the 4 crystals to us, warriors of light. Only you can do this. The volcano Mount Golg. Golg? I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Golug, isn't it? Rises to the west of this town. The Fiend of Fire long slept within its passages, but she has awoken 200 years before her time. Vanquish her before the world is consumed in flame. Well done, warriors of light. You have defeated the Fiend of Earth and restored the crystal's light. Sadly, this has drawn the notice of the Fiend of Fire, who was not to have stirred for another 200 years. Take this canoe and go face the Fiend in Mount Golg. We'll take down the Fiend of Fire by running her over with a canoe. Yeah. Alright, so the reason I didn't come and talk to them when I came here before is that they will talk to you and say basically the same thing, but this guy will not give us the canoe until after we've restored the Earth Crystal. And now that we have the canoe, we actually can go just about anywhere in the game. Well, kind of. First, I'm going to go ahead and sleep at the inn because I'm exhausted. So, what the canoe does is it allows us to go on freshwater, like, well, Crescent Lake here, or rivers. A thing that is really important that the game doesn't actually tell you is that you can take your ship here, and now you can actually dock it and transition onto rivers. So, for instance, up here, there happens to be the ocean, which transitions into a river. we can transition right into the canoe. And that's actually really important. You have to do this at points in the game, and I don't remember if anybody's around to tell you that. Now, normally, we could just go straight to the Fiend of Fire, but that's not what I want to do. Instead, I want to fight crocodiles and piranhas. Crocodiles are actually... These enemies are actually fairly challenging. The crocodiles hit pretty hard. It's almost like it's a freaking crocodile. The piranhas hit a little hard too, but they're not as bad as, the crocodile. And basically everything we encounter on the river is weak to lightning, if I'm not mistaken. But as I've mentioned, these enemies are a bit tougher than what we're used to because, well, we're kind of going out of sequence again because I feel like it. I feel like it. We're going to go to a kind of challenging dungeon next because I have no doubt we're plenty powerful to do it. But first we have to navigate the river maze, which is made into a complete joke because of the mini-map. But we want to head down here, turn left, keep rowing down. I wonder who gets stuck doing the rowing. I mean, I suppose logically they'd take turns, but I don't know. I kind of like the idea that they make Ted do all the rowing. I don't know why. It's just something I like to think. Anyway, let's go ahead and use a tent, and hopefully you guys are prepared, because this dungeon is one that we're not actually supposed to go to and go through yet, but we're plenty powerful. There's a reason why I don't really care what level we end up being in this game. But here we go, the Cavern of Ice, which has white dragons! White dragons are weak to fire. I feel like that should be pretty common. Most things in this place are weak to fire. And, yeah, dragons are not to be taken too lightly. Probably should have just had Bobby attack, honestly. But yeah, things here not to be taken too lightly. As you'll see, but like I said, we're plenty powerful, and we've got more than enough supplies. Alright, let's see here. Heading down this way leads to a dead end. Yes, there are also undead enemies. I think specters are new, actually. Not that it matters. They're all susceptible to Dia and Fyra. And Faraga, for that matter, but... Anyway, that leads to a dead end, so let's enter through these stairs. Through the stairs! And around this very large path here to find another staircase down, and that looks like it. Mind Flayer! So this dungeon is a pretty good one to use as an example. A lot of enemies are actually just straight up taken from Dungeons & Dragons, such as Mind Flayers. There is another one that is actually the boss of this cave that was censored in Western releases of the game because it was just straight up a beholder originally. I'm not sure why Mind Flayers didn't need to be censored, but the beholder did. I'm not really sure, but oh, Ice Storm. Yeah, that hits pretty hard. Again, dragons are pretty tough. Although I'd hope so, they're dragons. But yeah, for whatever reason, Mind Flayers didn't need to be censored, but the Beholder, they felt did. Not really sure why. Again, this game took a lot, and I mean a lot, of inspiration from Dungeons & Dragons. Alright, so you'll want to note the cracks in the floor. Ha! Here we have new enemies, though. Winter wolves, which I think might be the last form of wolf that we are going to encounter, as well as the ice gigas. The winter wolves can do a much weaker rendition of the ice attack that the white dragons do, but it still hits all characters, and so it's important to remember. There it is. As you can see, it's a lot weaker. The ice gigas is just another gigas. It's just slightly tougher. I don't know off the top of my head if it has any ice elemental attacks or not. Monsters! Doc Wizard. Hey, it's Astos. And yeah, it is. Also, these enemies, they're deceptively dangerous because they use Faraga. So I want to use Null Blaze because, yeah, Faraga hurts. And there's 4 of them. That's right. Go ahead. Slow Billy. Just slow Billy. Yeah, though, I have gotten into a battle just like that before, where each and every single one of them cast... Close. What the... Where each and every single one of the enemies cast Faraga, and yeah, that's basically a party wipe if you're not set up for it. This is a prime example of something I was talking about last time. That chest was a perfect example of something I was talking about last time. A lot of the chests in the first 2 Final Fantasy games give you just worthless stuff. This chest, however, does not. It gave us the Flame Sword. It's a fire elemental sword, and it's pretty powerful. So I should mention, it does do fire elemental damage, but if something is resistant to fire, I don't believe that that gets taken into account. I think it just doesn't do the extra damage that it does to things that are weak to fire. I'll elaborate more when we get to, well, an area where I can actually show that. For now, it's just going to do a great job for helping us kill all these undead enemies, as well as most of what's in this place. Alright, so these icicle-y, prickly floors, they're ice spikes. The yellow flash means we're taking damage as we walk. Not a lot of damage, luckily. In fact, I could have sworn it was more than that originally, but maybe I'm thinking of something else. Regardless, you're going to have to walk on the spikes to get through this dungeon, and especially if you want to get all the treasure. And fight monsters! White dragons. Which I'm not that worried about. Ice armor. Ice armor is actually really, really good. It has the same defense as the knight armor that we could have purchased in Melman for 36,000 gil, which is insane. It has the same amount of defense, and it also reduces the amount of damage you take from fire spells, or rather fire damage in general. It's pretty nice. And so we're going to go ahead and put that on Billy. And mithril gloves, which I already have, but hey, they're still cool. Ah, cool, get it? But yeah, that's one of the reasons that I very much recommend against buying the knight's armor. Remorez! So this is a stronger variation of Ankeg, which I don't know if you all have seen on screen or not yet. I fought a ton of them when I was doing the money farming. Basically, though, they can cast Quake, and they're also pretty resilient. I believe they can also poison you, and yeah. No, they're actually fairly difficult enemies. Even though, you know, I made it look like a chump, but that's because I'm awesome, I think. Well, I say that, but I mean, I'm somebody playing Final Fantasy and recording it for fun. And, oh, Blood Bones. We haven't seen these in forever. Yes, evidently Blood Bones are here as well. You might remember them from the Marsh Cave. Fyra was enough to one-shot them then. It's enough to do it now. Oh, unless Bobby does it. Well, this is overkill and a half. They're almost dead. They only have like 130 or 140 HP. Anyway, though, I do hope that folks watching this are enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun. Of course, though, I wouldn't be playing this. I wouldn't be playing this on here and recording it and whatnot if I wasn't having fun, so... I don't really want to use my high potions here. 9,900 gil! 7,900 gil! 5,000 gil! 5,454! What a random number. Monsters! Winter wolves. I actually just did a fight, like, just like this a moment ago. So, even though the Ice Storm is notably weaker, with how many there are here, if they all decide to use Ice Storm, it might take out some of your lower HP characters like Ted or Bobby or anybody in relatively critical condition. But aside from that though, nah, they're not that bad. 12,350! And more winter wolves. Faraga's great. And 1,180. Alright, well that rune gave us a crap ton of money. So, I'm not complaining. Again, I don't mind when the game gives us money, even if it's a strange amount. It's just when it gives us garbage like clothes. As a reminder, clothes is the starting terrible defense armor that everybody started with in this game. But anyway. And ether. Ooh, I love those. Mummies and cockatrices. Wow, okay, I forgot these were here. It's a good thing I have plenty of gold needles. Although, so far, only my warrior... Okay, only my warrior's been petrified. No one else has gotten petrified yet, so... I don't know if one of the stats determines whether or not it works on a character. But, I mean, do you really want to chance it? 10,000 gil! Anyway, we're at the point now where we're probably never going to need... We're at the point in the game now where we're never going to need to farm for money again. So, that's good. Oh, shoot! Okay, well, that was actually an accident, but that's something you have to do so we can get to the main thing that we came here for. I just wanted to get the other chests first. This enemy, the Evil Eye. This is the enemy that was censored, and, well, I say censored, but it was just straight up changed from the Beholder in Western releases of the game. I'm curious, does this count as... This is obviously an undead-looking enemy. I'm curious if it's classified as undead or not. Let's see if we get a chance to find out. Nope, not a chance to find out. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't classified as an undead enemy, just because it was a Beholder originally. But either way, this is the thing we came here for mainly, the Levy Stone. What's that do? Well, we'll get into that later. Right now, I need to go back to where those chests were. Alright, so it actually worked out pretty well. Make sure we don't step on the crack again. Sleeping bag, 9,500 gil, and an ice shield. The ice shield is very similar to the ice armor. It reduces the damage that you take from fire. Thing is, that effect is only applied once. So wearing the ice armor and the ice shield together doesn't reduce fire damage even more. It only reduces... it still only reduces it once. That said, the ice shield is still just straight up a better shield than the mithril shield. Now, the reason that this actually worked out, the reason this actually worked out fairly well is because if we go over to this staircase here, it is a quick exit out of the ice cavern. And with that, we're done in the ice cave. Now, I want to use a tent. And now, I need to go back to where our ship is. So, I'm not going to make you guys watch me canoe all the way there. So, I'll see. Ooh. Well, first, let's take care of this enemy, the Neochu. It's a stronger Ochu enemy, which we haven't actually seen the regular Ochu before. The Ochu enemy has a tendency to inflict status conditions with its attacks. And as you can see, it's a little tough. It survived an entire round of us attacking. But that's really all there is to say about it. As I was going to say, I'm not going to make you guys watch me canoe all the way back. So, folks, I'll see you back at the ship. Alright, so now that we're back on our ship, and we have the levee stone, I actually want to go to the very southernmost part of this continent right here. To where, not that river, but this river is. Because we're going to dock the ship here at this river, and then move to the left with the canoe. And with that, folks, we now have an airship. Now we can literally go basically anywhere we want. That said, the airship does not move as fast in this version of the game as it does in other ones, and that makes me sad. But where are we going to take this airship to? Find out next time in Final Fantasy! The Pixel Remaster. Yeah. I'm Gene of RPG. I'll see you guys then.